fault in almost everything that everybody does. Every time. I'm not angry. Like, I just really want to find out. You also move on. You are the one that said we should say, come on. You personally said, let's against that. We said we don't have any.
You guys, I am so downcast because I don't understand why these households have decided that it's in the midnight that they'll be fighting their fight. Like, you've had all day. Fights during the day. Don't come and be stressing somebody. And the worst part of this entire situation is the fact that they were trying to prepare for their task. The people on the island, they are literally like 20% ready for their Thursday presentation. And they now use the small time that they had last night to fight instead of them to prepare for the task. They are definitely going to lose that wager. So let's just talk about the fights that happened last night and how things graduated from one group to another in the whole fight situation. Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you are new here, please do well to subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that I can get notified each time I post a brand new video, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. So Adekunle's team was presenting what they had put together for the task. So they were trying to present it in front of the housemates, and in their story they got to a point where they said a village girl in Benin City, and immediately they said that Diana took offense. Like, why would they use Benin City as the example, or why would they use Benin City in this context as a village girl? Benin City, like, what are they trying to say?
All the song in Nigeria, all the state people choose Benin.
She's from there. She's from Benin. Because it's my village, but you don't let people go crazy about it.
I'm sorry, Benin City is not a village actually. What village is there? Yeah. Benin City is not a village.
I don't understand, like, where would they use? Okay, if not Benin City, where would they use? If they use another city, another person can still take offense. And the village girl in this context is not even coming across like, it's not trying to say that Benin City is a village. It's like, village girl in Benin City. The village girl can even be from anywhere, or even if she's from Benin City, doesn't mean that Benin City is a village. So the whole getting angry about the contest or getting angry about the statement was just like weird to me. Even me that was watching, I was like, okay, what's happening here? So Chichi supported her point. I was just saying that, okay, they should just not even, like, why do they have to use any city at all? They should just scrap the whole thing. Like, just don't use any city, because, you know, maybe some people might find it offensive. When Chichi now made her own point, Kunle now faced her like, you Seth, why is it that you always have an issue with what someone is trying to say, or you always find fault in what someone is saying? Like,
you know that you find the fault in almost everything that everybody does. Every time. I'm not angry. Like, I just really want to find out. You also move on. You are the one that said we should say, come on. You personally said, let's against that. We said we don't have any.
That's how the thing started graduating from just being mere bans to like major arguments. And Adekunle was now saying that, why are you getting angry about the whole situation? And the next thing, Chichi is like, is it only me that is it just me that complained about the situation that you're facing me? And he was not like, even Diana that brought up the issue has rested the matter, but you're still getting angry about it. Why are you shouting? And then Chichi was now trying to be like defensive, and Kunle was now telling her that she's not even from Benin and she's carrying the whole matter on her head.
Why are you angry?
Why are you telling me that I'm the one that is
Because out of everybody here, they are the one raising it. But nobody knows why. With the way I'm smiling, like, why are you raising your voice? Even Diana too, that came up with the issue, she said, okay, you know what, I understand. You, Diana, from the way they are doing thing they saw.
Wahala here and there, wahala every day. It's funny how Kunle was talking about the fact that Chichi was raising her voice, or why she was raising her voice. Meanwhile, they were literally both going off on each other. So it was at this point that Sheggz now came into the equation in a bid to kind of like, you know, be the one supporting Chichi. And at the same time, he unlocked another door that was going to lead to the bigger bass balls without even knowing. So as for Sheggz, he was just saying that Kunle was being personal when it came to Chichi's equation, or like he was, you know, directly, he was coming at her from a personal angle, right? That they all know that when it comes to Chichi, that they've had issues with her, like based on her manner of approach or the way she approaches things. But in this situation, that he was actually, you know, coming at her from a personal angle, basically.
You were actually personal, bro. This is the whole thing. I don't want to get involved. That's your fault. But you were actually personal. So she said something, and then you took it personal. You actually went personal. You're shocked. Every single one of us here have complained about her approach. You basically said that she always has a problem.
So that's how Sheggz inserted himself into the equation fully. Now, Kunle was, you know, after Kunle listened to Sheggz, he was now trying to explain, obviously, like where he was coming from, because he had experiences with Chichi on the personal notes, and Chichi has done this kind of thing to him before. So he started off from the from I think he even started off from the beginning. I don't know if it's the first night or the second night, but he started to give the different scenarios or the different times where she has done that kind of thing to him, and what now gave rise to this particular reaction.
Yesterday we had a conversation about something completely unrelated, and you were so fixated on how I personally would address a situation you know absolutely nothing about me about. The day before, whenever something is going on, you're always particular about me and me and me. So yes, I understand that if I was particular about how she has the problem with everything, it's because I've experienced it.
Oh, well, but what they keep notes, as in like keeping notes of the different situations. So it was definitely personal. Like he was coming at it based on his experiences we had. So that's what, like, everything added up and resulted in this situation right now. And it's very, very understandable. Like if person they do you something, somebody just be doing something like consistently, you definitely flare up at some point. But the bad thing now is that this particular situation, it's almost like, oh, she didn't even really do too much, right? So in this case, like I just said, let's just not use any state. Let's not just include any state. So this particular time that he now decided to express himself is now when she did not even really do too much. You know, when someone will just be doing something, and then the time you now flare up is when the person now did something small. It's now look like, okay, what did I do? That's why the whole thing was just like, Eloswa was now trying to give his own input as per head of house, trying to say his own observation. So he was like, obviously, like, there's beef here, right? And then what they call it, Sheggz now agreed with him, and then Bella was like, maybe there's a little bit of beef, but it's not like personal beef.
What I think is like there's beef here.
Yeah, that's so.
It will spark off.
She was also talking as well. So I don't think it's personal beef. Like, yes, it's personal beef, but
he has-
you're angry as well.
Everybody knows Chichi has an attitude, but I'm a real nigga gonna say how it is.
I don't think it's beef. Like using the word beef is deeper than what it is. Like the situation is not that deep. It's not beef like I'm quarreling with you or something like that. So I don't think like beef is not like the right word to use in that context. Meanwhile, Sheggz was still putting out his opinion, saying, oh, that you know, talking about the whole thing about it being personal. And then he also said that Kunle and Bella, they were even annoying him because apparently they were not really agreeing with what he was saying. Then he was still going off. Doyin, on the other hand, was getting agitated little by little, and then the whole thing was just swelling more and more and more. And then the next thing, she flared up. You guys, the intensity of the anger was quite shocking to me. Like, I know you may not agree with she may not agree with his opinion and everything, but for her to now be gingering like that, I was like, this matter is really strong this night though. Then the funniest part of this whole situation was the way Hemis was reacting to it, or the way Hemis reacted. People were really going hard, getting angry. Baba literally jumped on the floor and was laughing. Hemis is something else. Like, how was that even his reaction? It was very funny to me. I liked that was actually a comic relief for me in the midst of the situation. Now Sheggz approached Doyin to kind of understand, like, she doesn't understand what's going on. Has he disrespected her before? That she's coming at him very hard. Like, where did that even come from? Like, what was that about? He was trying to understand the situation. He was just asking questions, and then at this point, she was still angry. So she was just like, you know, still flaring up and not really giving him answers and all.
I don't understand what in your mind makes you think it's cool to speak to me like that. I don't understand. Have I disrespected you? Have I called you out of your name? Have I spoken to you like that? But it's not. It's too late. It's too late to apologize. It's a violation. Like, why did you do it? Like, I don't understand why you did it. It's like, nah, man.
On the other hand, head of house Eloswa was trying to reconcile the situation, trying to get them to apologize. So he told Chichi to apologize. She gave one kind of funny apology like that. Inside the apology, she was even still like trying to prove a point. Then Kunle also tried to apologize, like tried to explain to her that he doesn't have any personal beef with her, but she was not even having it. She didn't want to agree that there's no personal beef there. And the next thing, she now even got emotional. She now started crying. I'm like, oh my, this night is long.
Someone who's going to have a personal issue with you, like I do not.
Sorry, no.
I'm not even telling you.
Please just be here.
It's so hard. You know what we're just having a normal. You cannot take your nature. That's what we're saying. Why?
Meanwhile, Sheggz and Doyin, they were at the point where they were now trying to sort out their own issues or sort out the issue from their own angle. Sheggz was still, you know, trying to let her know where the part that got to him, the fact that this is somebody that he has good rapport with, and all of that. That's why it really got to him when she was just like going off and saying things that were like, you know, deep. And then she now apologized to him that, you know, she's sorry for coming across that way, that she was just angry.
Someone else that said that to him, maybe he would react that way.
I wouldn't react because I probably wouldn't care, but like, I actually like her. And I really respect that.
I really apologize, bro. I've just been hearing you say it so many times. I was getting so upset. I didn't understand your point.
At this point, apologies were just flying left, right, and center. Everybody was just trying to reconcile. Kunle now went back to Chichi to give like a deeper apology or a more genuine apology. He was just telling her that he has right now, based on what they've said, that okay, since it's now as if there's friction between them, that he's sorry that she feels that way, that he's really, really sorry. Like this is why he was apologizing like deep, as in he was serious about the apology. Now Sheggz took Kunle aside to kind of explain to him why he stood in for Chichi.
I know that she's feeling alone in this house. Like she's a one-man army and everybody's against her. So I was like, I know my relationship with you will be fine. I just wanted to kind of like stick off for us small, so it's like we could just get it there. So she doesn't always feel like she's alone.
I actually feel like Sheggz had a point when he said that Kunle's approach was definitely coming from a personal angle. So he had a point, right? But apparently it would have been better if Sheggz did not say it like that, because Sheggz's own comment unlocked a new thing. It was almost like him saying that just I feel like him even saying it to even make Chichi feel like more like, okay, this is actually personal. It's more like you're confirming to her that these people are coming at her on a personal note. Then Doyin and Alison, they were having a conversation about the situation, and Doyin was just talking about why she was really, really angry. That's just how she felt at that point. That she wanted Sheggz to just like keep quiet. Like, what is he saying? That she was disappointed in what he was saying and his view.
I was just so disappointed in you.
Yeah, they tried to look like to remove.
No, all of them say, hey, boy, you shouldn't have yesterday. I understand I shouldn't have been shut fuck, but I go, that's how I felt. That's how I felt. I just feel like shut fuck. You always say, please keep quiet. I don't think what you're saying. That's how I get angry.
Meanwhile, Chichi, she was lying down initially, and she now went to the sitting room to ask Kunle whether he has any problem with her. And he was like, no, he doesn't have any personal problem with her. And she did not agree. She said, no, he has problem. Somebody's telling you he does not have a problem, you say it's a lie, he has problem. So why are you not asking him? If you feel he has a problem, and then if you ask him, you will not take his own answer, then why are you asking him?
You have a problem with me, and it's very obvious. Yes, you do. If you don't, why did you bring yesterday conversation? Like it was I the only one that was even saying that.
For me, I feel like the issue with Chichi is that she does not acknowledge her own faults in the situation. Like, at what point do you relax and say, maybe maybe I'm at fault, or I have my own fault in this situation? Because I've not seen that happen. It's always like her being on being defensive. Even when Kunle was trying to explain to her that this is what he did to me the other time, and it got to me, like, you know, trying to express himself, and she's like, no, in fact, she was not coming in and talking about like, no, that's not what she meant, that's not what she did, I'm like, calm down. Other people have this emotion that you have to.
The response you gave to me about me not being able to, let me say, so the way I perceived it.
I'm not the only one that said you a man. I said we said a man.
I've spoken to Chomsy about it. Like, that's why I said maybe she can speak to the.
When it comes to Kunle having issues with Chichi, I think he definitely has issues with the way she handles things, but I don't think he has issues with her as a person, like, I don't like you or anything, because that's the vibe that Chichi is getting, or that's the way Chichi is taking it, that, oh, this guy doesn't like me, or he has a personal problem with me. But I don't think that's where Kunle's issue is coming from. It's like a situation based, like, I'm angry with this thing that you're doing, not that I'm angry with you, or not that I hate you or anything. So I think that's what the situation is. What do you guys think about the whole thing? Let me just leave it here. I have so much more to say, but let me just leave it here. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I'm going to see you on the next one. Bye. Love you.